So, since I finished watching Motorcycle Diaries and I was really confused about the connection between Che Guevara and Fidel Castro, I decided to watch a little bit more of another documentary that we were could have been assigned called Cuba Libre that's on Netflix. And I realized Fidel gets exiled to the, Americas. And that's where he meets Che Guevara. I think they met in Mexico because that's where Che was headed after Venezuela, which is the end of Motorcycle Diaries. I think they met in Mexico and Che picked up the cause and came back to Cuba with Fidel and a bunch of other people. So Che is not the guy who ended up being in charge, but he is the guy who they say he kind of became the military theorist behind how to do this revolution. And I'm not all the way through the part about the Cuba Libre story yet. But I do realize that that's the connection between the two of them, and that basically they are kind of the two heroes of the revolution. One of them who was the leader, the well-known leader of the revolution, but Che Guevara, who was not necessarily the leader, but one of the kind of the key figures, key heroic figures. One of the things it's just kind of a paradigm shift. It's not a huge deal, but it's just a paradigm shift for me is the people that I'm hearing from in the Cuba Libre documentary. They are interviewing people who actually were there, actually fought with Fidel, with Che, who knew them, who were soldiers with them, and communism, at least so far, the way they've presented it. Now it's a series, and I'm only kind of in the middle of it, but these people, they're excited about the revolution. They want this revolution to come. They want the communism. They're saying really, and some of the articles I read too, they're saying really, really good things about Fidel and what he did or what his intentions were, especially because it seems like Batista was, they think he was a puppet of the United States and he was kind of this really awful tyrant dude. So it's a really interesting history of Cuba that I never understood. I mean, I'm familiar with the name Fidel Castro. I was familiar with Che Guevara, but I didn't really understand who they were or what they did or how they fit together, and the kind of the impact that they had on Cuba. So I've still got more to learn, but that's exciting.